You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, Jam Master Jay's son, TJ.
What's good, yo?
What's up, TJ?
Legendary. I'm at The Breakfast Club. It's crazy.
What's
good, guys?
I always, guys like you that had such legendary fathers, I always wonder if I was in that position, would I want to do exactly what my father did?
Yeah.
Even though the bar is set so high, I'll find my other lane.
Yeah.
You chose to be a DJ.
Yeah, definitely. Our pops always had us in music. Honestly, since we were kids, like kindergarten, like I went to Catholic school, like right in Manhattan, had a violin class, so jumped in violin, kindergarten, pre-K, first grade, second grade. Then I fell in love with drums. Travis Barker, loved Blink-182, all that. So my pops put me in drum class, and I did percussion in school.
Closer to the mic.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
So then I did percussion in school, and I was like, wow, like music has been my thing ever since then. You know, like I played drums in rock bands, like all that stuff. So finally, like when it came to college, like I was DJing with my homie was my roommate right now, Taylor, and we were just like getting after it. And he's the only kid that shared that same passion. And you know, I just like saw that this is how people were kind of expressing themselves now, like going to Warped Tour, seeing bands, but then also seeing the DJs rock.
Right.
I was like, wow, like this is like a whole new style. And of course, I always knew my pops was the master, the legend behind it. And that's what always just, like, I never touched turntables up until I was like 15, 16.
That's
like,
what I wondered. Did you, when he was alive, were you?
Nah, man, he never
That's
had
crazy.
turntables in the crib.
He's
he had
probably,
turntables
you know,
once.
he's smiling right now, looking down.
Yeah,
right?
man,
You never
for
had
sure.
turntables in the crib?
Yo, one time, I think Run DMC was going back on tour, was around the Crown Royal time when that released in early 2000s. And he had turntables in the garage, I remember, and he was running around the house yelling, getting his vocals right, and like working on his cuts. But that's the only time I saw turntables there. First time I ever touched turntables at the Scratch DJ Academy when it opened.
And
He never grabbed you and put your hands on him? Like,
I mean, yeah, here and there,
Yeah.
but like I never actually got down and got busy with him until I did it on my own.
So you went to the Scratch Academy and
He
learned.
He actually
and learned.
interned
Yo,
there.
I interned there.
Really?
Yep, exactly.
that
Interned
seems
there.
almost blasphemous.
Nah,
The
man,
son
I
of
didn't.
Jam
That's
Master Jay.
good. No, I think you have to do
DJ
things like that
Academy.
because
Of course,
you have to
yeah.
pay. He paid his dues just like he should.
Exactly, and that's how this DJ thing works. It's a community, you know. It's like you can't just go in there. You guys know this. You can't just go into a club or something, or you just can't just move up the ranks. You gotta like earn your keep when it comes to this DJ. So
When did you
I
realize
wasn't
it was
gonna
your
be that
passion?
kid. I realized it was my passion actually the first time I DJ'd a party. I remember it was actually with the Scratch DJ Academy instructors. There was this Halloween party going on. First time I ever like really did a party, and I remember for me, like I was always that kid that I was hip to all new music. You know, I was always on LimeWire when LimeWire popped, Napster, downloading stuff. Like I was always obsessed with whatever dope was out.
Right.
Was that like illegal downloading you was doing?
Yeah, it was definitely illegal for sure. I'll admit it. But at this party, I was like, it was instructors DJing. They were playing all old school hip hop, like this and that. Like, and I came to the turntables. I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna play what I like. You know, started playing what I liked, and it just so happened that the crowd loved what I liked. So everybody was sitting down. It was a normal house party. I got on. First time getting on turntables, people got up.
What'd you play?
Partying. I was playing like
Nah.
You said new stuff, man.
I was playing new stuff. I remember I was playing what was I playing? I was like Lil Wayne No, and it's not even like new stuff, but just that I like. You know, it was like Lil Wayne No Ceilings and like remixes and going from the remix to the original and like just being creative. And people were like, "Yo, this is wild," you know. Not after being able to control a crowd like that, I was like, "Oh, bet."
I heard your name. I heard your name in the street because somebody was like, TJ Mizell, he's a good DJ. My homegirl Paige kept saying that.
Oh, dope.
And I was like, who the hell is TJ Mizell? After this hearing your name, I'm like, who is TJ Mizell? He's like, Jam Master Jay's son. I'm like, he has a son that actually DJs and he's good? Because you never hear that.
Yeah,
it's
nah,
always
I feel
the son
you.
DJs, but he's whack, or the
But
son
he's whack.
raps and he's whack.
Right.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I appreciate that. Honestly, it was just like it's Scratch. Like at Scratch DJ Academy, just ill instructors, ill OGs that don't let you stray left. You know, like they're just like, yo, this is what you got to do. As soon as I see you fucking up, like I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna not let you make those decisions. So it's just like being around OGs that in this DJ game that really taught me how to be real.
And they was
just,
probably extra hard on you.
hell yeah. They're like, you're not gonna go out there and make a fool out of yourself.
Now,
You know,
how
if you
has the
have
love have been? Because I show a lot of people showing you love.
for what?
From how's the love have been from the artists?
Crazy, bro, crazy. That's a really dope experience too. Like, being able to hang out with people who had relationships with my pops, you know, because he passed when I was young.
Right.
I was around 11, so I didn't really get to know him on a personal level like you will like an adult to an adult. You know, like I feel like you build a different relationship with your parents after you turn a certain age.
Right.
And I didn't get to really experience that. So like dealing with like Ricky Powell and like his homies in LA or his homies in New York, they get to share dope stories. It's like, whoa, this is crazy, you know. So that's the best experience.
But you've been on the scene for a little. Like I would say that I would see you out a lot, and I would see ODB's son out a lot. You two guys are always on the scene, always working, always moving. You know,
man, my manager Clayton Barmore, he's in the room right now. That man don't play around. You know, when I first moved back to the city about 4 years ago, every party, everything, like we were just going just because I had to be like after my pops passed, we moved to Virginia, you know, so we were in the suburbs, like straight suburban life, played football, skateboarded every day, and that was life, you know. So moving back to the city, kind of had to get acclimated to what we actually were, you know, and just kind of get back our like self-value in the name, and that's what kind of New York did for us. What
was the impact of your father's death for an 11-year-old kid, 11-year-old son?
It was tough, man. It was definitely tough. I can't even really explain the emotions, you know, because it's like something that you just go through in his life.
Did you understand what death was at that age, or was it something that you realized as you got older? Like?
No, yeah, my parents kept it real with me and all my brothers, like since we were young, you know. So when it happened, my mom was just like, "Yo, like this is what happened. This is real life, and we're gonna get through this, and it's gonna be everything's gonna be straight, you know." And yeah, my mom is like, she's one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. You know, she's my role model. And just the moves that she made when all that happened, being Jam Master Jay's wife and having to deal with all of that, and just the tragedy, and also raising 2 boys by herself, like that woman's a beast, you know. So
now,
I owe that to her.
Whatever happened to the case?
It's still unsolved. Yeah, still open, which is crazy, you know.
It's crazy for Queens because Queens is so small. There's cameras everywhere.
Yo, people know. You know,
people
people know. Like people just don't want to say shit, you know. It's like it is what it is. But yeah, the truth comes out at one point, and then if anything, people got to deal with God at the end of the day, you know. So
how do you think you would feel if you found out tomorrow who it was?
Honestly, don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. There'd be so many emotions. But you know what? Just like I said, like you just got to leave it up to God. It's like in nobody else's hands to deal with anything. It's like what happened, and honestly, it's like, yeah.
So now you're on tour with A$AP Ferg.
Yep.
You DJing for Ferg?
DJing for Ferg,
That's
yeah.
dope.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yo, that experience has been wild.
What's that check like?
It's the check is dope, but the experience is way doper. You know, like dealing with a group of kids that are just like at the forefront of fashion and music and hip hop culture all over the world. You know, it's like it's way different from just being like a local New York scene. Like we go over to Europe, we go to Australia, and it's like obsession, you know. So being able to be a part of that and being able to add to that is legendary for me, you know. Like I'm on stage with Ferg and Marty Baller, and it's like we'll be rocking stages of like 8,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. I feel like I'm in like my dad's place like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you know, like with Run and D on stage, and that for me is like an epic feeling.
Run and D like mentors to you?
Yeah, for sure, especially D, like and Run, but like D would be the one, like, because I said we moved to Virginia, he'd come watch the football games. Like he'd be in like my homie's basement while I'm doing band practice, like peeping us,
in Virginia.
You know, in Virginia.
He would come out to Virginia.
He'd have a show in DC, drive 20 minutes out to VA and come watch our football games, like watch our band practice. Yeah, he was like uncle. He was dope.
And now you're on Growing Up Hip Hop with Angela Simmons.
Yeah, like we've had a dope relationship too since we were kids. Like
you ain't never tried to holler?
You ever been
never
in her
tried
DMs?
to holler, never been in her DMs.
He doesn't have to be in her
bro.
DMs. He knows her.
I'm trying to block the DMs. Yeah, I'm like the little jealous brother, but
The little jealous wannabe boyfriend.
Nah, definitely not.
That's
but,
creepy though. They grew up together.
Yeah,
They
we
probably
grew
like
up
family.
together. We're like homies.
That's
like,
the best ones.
Nah, not even.
That's my best
like,
friend.
yo,
Best
destined
friend.
to be. Like, it makes sense.
Nah, bro.
James say, go say my seeds grow with his seeds.
It's
marry
different.
His seeds.
It's different when
Wow.
all your homies are trying to hit. It's like,
Damn.
yeah, it's like I'm always one that's
You're
like,
a
yo,
little hater though.
chill.
You be blocking it.
Not the hater, but just like, yo, relax, yo, chill. Yo, let me get Angela's number. Yo, let me get. Yo, I had like a 16-year-old kid DM me like, yo, can Angela be my prom date? I'm like, bro, what?
I don't understand that. Let me get Angela's number. Okay.
For what? What are you gonna do
Exactly.
with it?
He gonna try to
DJ
shoot a
gave
shot.
me your number. All right.
And what exactly?
What made you decide to do the show though? Because I'm sure she had you down from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. She reached out, and I know Angela's not crazy. I know she's not doing anything crazy on TV. I know Run's even crazier, so there's no way.
Right.
You know, so I was like, bet this is safe. This is going to be a good platform to kind of get what we're doing out there, build awareness for the JMJ name. We also have a foundation called the Jam Master J Foundation for Music. Build that out, you know, so just kind of building awareness towards the name and using it as a dope platform to kind of put everything under a magnifying glass.
Were you cool with everybody else that's on there
Yeah, for sure.
beforehand?
Kind of beforehand. The show really brought everybody together. I had met everybody on like separate occasions, but it wasn't like super close. But the TV show brought us all together.
I know Boogie was saying that he thought you was trash and he could wash you in the DJ
Boogie
battle.
DJs too.
That's
yeah.
actually, I know Boogie didn't say that. I know you fucking with me. Boogie's the homie. I actually linked
DJ
with
said he
him.
make better cookies than Boogie.
Right? Nah, I actually linked with him a year before doing an interview, and I linked with him at his pop studio, and it was weird, like, cause the next year it's like, yo, he's gonna be on the TV show. I was like, that's dope, like, cause he's super cool, genuine dude.
Cause but didn't Boogie DJ at one point?
Yeah, he does. He does DJ.
does,
Yeah,
okay.
we've done a party together at Leonora.
Is he like a DJ? Or
Nah,
just
he's a DJ
Nice
DJ
biz.
and
Okay.
producer as well. Yeah, he's dope.
No, it was dope. I thought it was dope was you and Scratch outside your dad's mural going back
in
and forth.
Hollis. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. It was in Hollis, Queens, where your dad's from, and it was just dope. Y'all going back and forth, cutting it up. I just thought it was dope.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. He's a dope mentor and a legend. That's one of the men. That's one of the men that just like have the illest stories for me every time I link with him. Like, yo, back in '86 or '84, I was with your pops and I was opening and I did this and I taught him this scratch. He taught me this scratch. You know, like just wild tour stories, like all that. And also he's like the guru. You know, like I remember I was at Scratch with him working on that routine. He had me like in between two milk crates, like learning like just like spinning around and doing juggles while you're spinning. And he was like literally like hitting my legs like, yo, you can't move that way. You gotta spin. Like keep working.
He's the master of that.
He's literally the master
He's one
of
of the
that.
people that started me with DJing with that Friday the 13th. I'm gonna play Jason.
Yeah, with the mask on.
Yeah, that was one of the.
What do you think
Yeah.
about everybody thinking they're a DJ nowadays?
I think it's crazy. I think it's wild. Like technology has just made DJing so accessible. It's made a lot of things very accessible. You know. So with that comes just like saturation of the art form, and unfortunately it's up to the real DJs and the real people who actually respect the art form and actually are really about this life to like kind of keep it alive, you know. There's kids that'll like show up to the club with a laptop or with an iPad or with an iPhone, and I've seen it like and they just think that they can rock a party like that.
Playlist
It's like yo, you're Siri with like iTunes, bro. Like you can't do that, you know. So and I feel like New York is like similar as well. It's like I feel like I go to clubs and people are just like slamming and dropping records like this, dropping records like that. There's no like actual creativity, and people are just playing all the same records as well, which is wild. Like I was always that kid that like working at Scratch, I worked at the front desk, and like people would come in, like students would come in and be like, yo, you gotta listen to this record. Don't leave this desk until you listen to this record. There was some new, you know, like I was always hip to especially a lot of the electronic DJs, producers that come out like Bauer and R.L. Grime, Flash Adamus, Mr. Carmack, Sango, like all those dudes that are kind of pushing the boundaries of music and making it more worldly and just kind of not making it about one specific thing. And that's what I've been with, and that's kind of what I like to bring to the scene. And that's why we don't really with like you'll see me like hanging out, but you'll never see me DJing at a lot of spots just because I don't with the culture like that. I feel like people have made DJing a service other than the art form that it is, you know? But now, which is dope, is that it's becoming more of like the DJ is the rock star now, but at the same time, like because of that, you do have the saturation. So just as real DJs, we gotta like step that game up and like keep that bar high and make sure that people can see the difference and know the difference. Like the average person can know the difference when they walk in the club.
I don't think people care.
They don't.
That's the sad thing.
You notice when the DJ's whack though.
Yeah, but
that would ruin the
this is the
whole
thing.
party.
But if a DJ's rocking an hour, like he said, they're gonna play the same hour of music. So if you're a DJ, you have to watch that, because any DJ come and be like, you know what, I'll take $200 to do it.
Yeah.
And most
And
promoters
they'll play
gonna
all
be
the
like, I'm gonna
songs
pack this bitch out. I'll pay this DJ $200, and I ain't gotta pay this dude whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what a super dope DJ is anymore because everybody's so mediocre. It's like you play
It's
20
the same
minutes of
over and over.
Future, 20 of Fetty, and we good.
But
20 of Drake, we out.
And you turned up.
But that's what people want to hear.
Yeah,
you know?
unfortunately, but that's what I feel like we gotta change that as DJs. You know, like we gotta make, because it's the DJs that did that. You know, so it's like we gotta change it back, and
It's the technology that did that.
it's the technology. Exactly, you're right. So so we just gotta make sure that we kind of bring that back and change it. You know?
How do you feel about requests? I know some DJs are really funny about people coming up to you in the club and asking to hear a song.
I don't with it just because it fucks up the flow, but
What
at
if
the
I
same
got
time,
$100 for you?
You got $100 from me, bro? I may play that song if it's a good one. I'm gonna take the money anyway, but I may play the song if it's a good one.
Nobody ever pressed you in the club like, DJ, yo, put my song on right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. You get the crazy ones. It'll be like, yo, play my song. If you don't play that
It's
song,
a
the very
flash
next
drive.
song they're back like, yo. Where's my song? I'm like, yo, that's 30 BPMs off. I can't mix that in right now. You're just like, I'm not doing it. Like, you know.
How has your knowledge of the old school helped you? Because you know you got to study the old school because of who your pops was. So how
yeah, for sure. It's helped me in a lot of ways. You know, just like it showed me like where music's at. And music recycles. You know, so just knowing that, I just know like what's about to happen, and it's dope being like with Ferg, like not even just on the music sense, but on the fashion sense, like. This man, like his pops was like dope in the fashion world, as was my pops as well. And like what he's doing now is he's recreating that style, you know, and just like rocking the leathers. He's got us rocking the leathers, and like I'm like,
90s is back, baby.
90s is back, bro. Music and fashion, you know. So just knowing that is gonna help us all with like what we're doing now.
A lot of white women at those ASAP shows too.
Yeah, a lot of white women, a lot of white kids. I'm not partaking.
indulging in the white flesh.
I don't do groupies, bro. It's not cool.
What's the difference between a groupie and a fan, though? You know,
Fans are cool. I love fans. Yeah. But there's the
Ghostface
sloppy
said, you
groupies.
goddamn right.
Fans.
Has your father visited you?
Has he visited me?
Yeah. Dream maybe.
Yo, it's crazy you say that, man. Yeah, like my aunt, which is like my partner in crime, my best friends, my mom's sister, she had a crazy experience, you know? And I'm not gonna get into detail with the experience, but it just kind of changed my whole perspective on life in a way. It's like, yo, so what really does happen when you pass away? You know, it's like it kind of just makes you think about stuff. But just that being said, it was dope. It's really dope to know that like he's watching and he's here and he sees everything that's going down, you know, and it's like that was life-changing for me. You know?
I've had that with my grandma. Like literally she was having a conversation with me in a dream about something that was happening right now.
Right now.
Yeah. That's why I always ask people that when you have somebody that was close to you, did they visit you?
Yeah, nah, it's crazy. It's crazy. He hasn't visited me personally. But just to know that he's like here every day and he's watching everything that's going down and he's just a part of everything is like the best comfort, you know, like especially with what I'm doing, because it's like, bet I know you got my back. And there's been times where like first Run DMC show ever, I was doing a routine. So like my brother and I, we come out and we perform with Run DMC when they do their sets. Like Run DMC will do their set, then they do a Jam Master Jay tribute. They bring my brother and I out and we do routines. First routine ever was Made in America. It's like 3 years ago, I believe, the first one ever. And it's like 80,000 to 100,000 people. Only people I've performed, like the most amount of people that I performed in front of before that was like 1,000, maybe, you know? So that was on a whole nother level. And you know what it's like doing a routine. It's like you got to be focused, mentally focused. Well, the DJ before me he's D's DJ, Charlie. He had it on internal, and I didn't peep that because I was just so like lost in what was about to go on. So I started my routine, and I went to the left side to go, and nothing played because I wasn't a relative. I tripped out, and he saw that it happened, and it was just like a split second of no music, you know. And he saw that it happened quickly, put it on relative, and I continued my routine. But that just like me up mentally to the point where I blacked out. I still did the routine, still did it completely. And I look back on it and I was like, oh, word, like I did it. But like I don't remember doing that. You know, it was like one of those moments. Walked up to the front of the stage, had some Jeremy Scott Adidas on, like held my Adidas up while I played my Adidas remix and like walked back like dumb confident. And I was like, whoa, like even my manager was looking at me like, whoa, what the f just got into, you know? And I was just like, yo, I honestly don't know.
You got
and
possessed by your pops.
Yo, and I didn't even come to until I was like side stage, and I was like, whoa, you know?
Wow.
Yeah, and that was like a super crazy moment for me, and I still can't even explain that feeling or that, you know? But
do you ever just realize how great your dad was and how
every day
underappreciated he was as a
every day.
Probably never be able to fill those shoes.
No.
No. But on a real tip,
like
there will never be another Jam Master Jay ever. Nobody.
50 Cent before anybody.
Produced half of the records that are dope classic hip hop records right now that he doesn't get the credit for. That are wild.
He doesn't get a lot of credit.
He doesn't get a lot of credit on the producer tip. You know, like same with the fashion. Like yo, like the Adidas craze right now is because of Run DMC.
Right. Straight
up. The fact that like we have like artists being sponsored by different companies and different like all this is because of Run DMC, and people overlook that all the time. And I feel like now it's like there's so much awareness coming back to my pops, to Run DMC. Like they just got the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Grammys this year, which is wild, you know? So I feel like, oh yeah, me and my brother are going. We're gonna accept on my father's behalf, which is dope. But yeah, it's like it's crazy. Like Run DMC and Jam Master Jay did so much for society and culture and hip hop.
How do you balance it? Like how do you balance building you but still keeping your father's legacy alive? It's
my life, you know. Right. It's not even, I don't even think about it, you know. It's kind of just how we move as a team, you know. Like we move to keep the JMJ brand alive, the awareness, and stand for everything that he stood for, and build myself at the same time, you know, and build everybody around us. And that's just kind of how we move.
We appreciate you joining us.
Yo, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it, no doubt.
Growing up hip hop.
Growing up hip hop, yeah. 10 p.m. Thursdays, WeTV.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Rest in peace, Jam Master Jay.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.